Hello and welcome. I'm Laura Anderson from your HR department, here to present our 2019 Open Enrollment presentation for employee benefits. By now you should have received a packet with your enrollment forms for your benefits, and the idea is to use that in conjunction with this presentation. I'll not only teach you about the new benefits, the current benefits, some old benefits, but I'll also teach you how to fill out your enrollment forms and then return them to HR. If after you watch this presentation and you find that you still have questions, we will be scheduling benefit meetings at all of the plant sites throughout November. So please feel free to attend those meetings if you still have questions. Or you can call me at any time at 503-978-2135. All right, so the agenda is a high-level benefit overview. We're going to talk about your medical, dental, HSA and flex spending, life and disability, and supplemental insurance. We're going to talk about the employee contributions and your next steps after this presentation. And if you attend the live sessions, will be available, HR will be available, and a Kaiser representative will be available to answer any of your questions. All right, so 2019 carriers, we have our medical, which is provided by Kaiser Permanente. I know a lot of you have been wondering if we were going to change medical insurance, and the answer is yes, we are. Dental insurance is going to remain the same by Delta Dental and Willamette Dental. The health insurance, the health savings account, HSA, will still be provided by Health Equity. Flex spending account will still be provided by Allegiance. And the group life, voluntary life, and long-term disability insurance will still be provided by Unum. Supplemental insurance is still provided by Aflac. And 401k provided by the Retirement Plan Company. Nothing has changed. Okay, let's talk about our medical insurance provided by Kaiser Permanente. You can see we have several plans available for you to choose from, depending upon where you're located. First, we have the Kaiser Only plan. It's our HMO. In order to purchase this plan, you have to reside in either Longview, Washington, down through Eugene, Oregon only. Okay, so that's the only service area for this plan. For this plan, it's our PPO is for Oregon and Washington only employees, so anybody who doesn't reside in this area can choose this plan, or this plan actually. Or if you do reside in this area and you decide you want this plan, you have all three choices available to you. This plan, is our HSA, our PPO, and our HMO. And then across this red line here, this is for our California folks. They have an HMO plan and an HSA plan. And I'll go through and kind of explain what the differences are. So let's start over here with our Kaiser only. That means you can only go to a Kaiser facility if you should enroll in this plan. Again, you have to reside in anywhere from Longview, Washington to Eugene, Oregon only. All right, let's take a look at deductibles. So a lot of people ask me, what is a deductible? How does that work? So what a deductible means is you have to pay this amount if you're looking for an individual plan, or this amount for a family plan, per year before the insurance starts paying. Now, that's not true for everything, because with every rules there is an exception. So things like your usual and customary, like you go in for a regular office visit, there are lots of things that are waived. But as a general rule of thumb, just understand that anything out of the norm, like say you go to the doctor, you broke your arm or whatnot, you're going to have to pay for an individual your $1,000 deductible first, and then the insurance starts kicking in. All right, so across these plans, we're going to look at Oregon and Washington first, and then we'll look at the California ones. So the deductible for Oregon, Washington only, again, Longview to Eugene, you have $1,000 individual and a $3,000 family. I believe that is even better than what we offer right now, so that's pretty exciting news. And also, if you'll skip all the way down here to the payment, and this is per payday, this is very comparable to what you're paying right now. Maybe a modest increase, and in some instances, it's actually a decrease. So pretty exciting stuff here, folks. All right, so back to the deductible for the PPO. The PPO option is pretty exciting. It's for Oregon and Washington employees only. Again, you can live in this area or you can be outside of this area to enroll in this plan. You can see there's 3 different sections here. What that means is it works along with this. So Kaiser, if you stay in a Kaiser doctor a facility, it is $1,000 deductible, just like this plan for individual. $3,000 deductible for family, just like this plan. Now, if you go outside of Kaiser, you have coverage if you order this plan. Whereas this plan, it's Kaiser only. This plan allows you flexibility, and so does this plan as well. So it's very similar to our current insurance. You can stay in network, and to find out if you're in network outside of Kaiser, you can go to their website, search participating providers. So if you are in a participating provider outside of Kaiser, your deductible is now going to be $2,000 for individual and $6,000 for family. Now, say you go outside of Kaiser and outside of a participating provider, you still have coverage. It's a $3,000 deductible for individual and a $9,000 for family. So this plan is much more open than Kaiser used to be. Kaiser used to be you go to a Kaiser doctor only unless there was an emergency. This plan allows you to not only stay in Kaiser, and if you do, you're going to have better benefits, but it also allows you to go to a participating provider outside of Kaiser, and you still have pretty darn good benefits. And it even allows you to go outside of Kaiser to a non-participating provider, and you still have pretty decent benefits. All right, so for an HSA, basically what an HSA is you are going to pay a higher deductible and typically higher out-of-pocket costs, but you're going to pay lower premiums for your out of your deduction for your paycheck. So you can see here it significantly drops from $83.81 to $62.38, and again that's per paycheck. Now you might be wondering, why would I want to sign up for a plan where I have a higher deductible? I'm going to pay more money. Yeah, I'm going to pay less here, but why would I want to pay more here? So we offer for these high deductible plans, which is right here and actually for California as well, a way for you to put money aside to help pay for these out-of-pocket costs on a pre-tax basis. And we're going to go over that a little bit more detail after we get past this slide. So depending upon your situation, this could be something of interest for you, especially if you don't go to the doctor very often. Otherwise, for those folks who want to ensure that they have the least amount of out-of-pocket costs when they go to the doctor, this plan might be a little bit more appealing to you. And if you live within these areas, this plan might be most appealing to you because it is the least amount of money and the least amount out of pocket. Okay, so now we have preventative care. So preventative care changed a few years back. Thanks to Obama, we typically don't have to pay for preventative care anymore. So not even your office visit usually doesn't even apply. So it's $0 here on this plan, and $0 if you're in Kaiser, same as this. $0 if you're in the outside of Kaiser but in a participating provider. And if you're in a non-participating provider outside of Kaiser, it's 40%. And same for here, 0, 0, and 30%. Office visits, $25 here if you're in the Kaiser only, And on this plan, again, $25, same as this plan. $35 if you are at a participating provider outside of Kaiser, and 40% of a non-participating provider outside of Kaiser. And the HSA, looks like we've got 10%, 20%, and 30%. Okay, so that's 10%, 20%, 30%. Urgent care, the way that works is $45 here. Go to the Kaiser Urgent Care. We have a PPO, we have 25, same as here. 35, so if you go outside of network but in a preferred provider, and 40% out of network, non-preferred provider. And over here on the HSA, we've got 10%, 20%, 30%. Urgent care, you have a $45 payment here. And on this plan, you have 45, same as here, but now you can go outside of Kaiser, 55% and 40%. Remember, that is 55% on an outside preferred provider and 40% on an outside non-preferred provider. Same thing here, 10%, 20%, 30%. Emergency room, 20% here, $200 here, and 10% here. Alternative care. Alternative care is a $20 copay and a $1,500 limit per year. And it is the same for all three plans. And folks, this is kind of exciting that we have alternative care. A lot of companies, as they try to slice and dice things with our ever-changing medical care and how expensive it is, alternative care is usually one of the first things to go. So it's really nice that we still have this available. That's things like chiropractor, acupuncture, that kind of thing. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. All right, retail prescriptions. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Typically the way that works is Tier 1. That is your generics that you can get for $15 here, $15 on this plan. And it's important to note that on the HSA, you have to pay your deductible first. So that would be like $2,700 in this case, $3,600, $4,600. Then the Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 kick in. So if you're on this plan and you have some pretty expensive regular medications that you're on, I would suggest that you do not sign up for this plan, and that maybe you sign up for this plan might be a little bit better for you. But again, that is your choice, and I don't know everybody's situation. All right, Tier 2, that is your usually your non-generics, but it is on their preferred list. So Tier 2 is $30 in this plan, same $30 here, and here deductible first and then $30. Tier 3, that is usually your non-preferred, non-preferred and not on the preferred list, and non-generic, so 50 to 150, 50 to 150, and again the deductible first and 50 to 150. Vision is also covered by your medical insurance, and let's see, for this plan we have $25 for your exam, $25 here as well for your exam, and out of network but by a preferred provider would be $35 copay, and out of network and non-preferred provider would be 40%. And we've got 10, 20, 30%, and of course here is after your deductible again. So remember, you got to pay whatever amount you fall in here, and then this insurance would start covering down here. All right, and then you have your hardware allowance, $150 here, $150 here, and $150 here. So let's take a look at how much it's going to cost you out of paycheck. Again, this is great news. If you take a look at what you're paying right now, you're going to be paying either pretty comparable rates, maybe a little bit more, but in some cases actually a little bit less. And in most cases, it is much better insurance than what we had. So employee only, you can see this is $74.40, and this is $83.80. $83.81. You might be wondering, why is this a little bit more expensive than this? The reason why is because this is considered a little bit richer plan because you are allowed to go outside of the Kaiser family. So you're going to pay a little bit more for that. Still pretty affordable rates. All right, and then we have the HSA. So the HSA you can see is much less expensive than all the other plans. Again, the wonderful thing about HSA is you're going to pay less out of pocket premium per payday. Perhaps a little bit more out of pocket when it comes to your doctor visits, but we do have a way to put away those put away money on a pre-tax basis to help pay for that, and we're going to cover that on the next slide. All right, next let's take a look at Kaiser of California. So California, you have two plans to choose from, the HMO plan and the HSA plan, much the same as the Oregon and Washington plans. So you have a $1,000 individual deductible for employee or for individual only, and $2,000 for family. You can see that that is better than all of the other states. So you guys kind of lucked out there. In the HSA, you have a $2,700 deductible and a $5,400 for family. The annual out-of-pocket max, I don't know if I touched on this very much, but basically what this is the maximum amount you would pay out of pocket as long as you are typically in network, or they have out-of-network amounts as well. So for instance, here would be $4,000 should be all you have to pay for the year. As long as you're in network, everything after that should be covered at 100%. $4,000 again here if you're in Kaiser, $6,000 if you're at a participating provider, and $7,500 here. You can see all the rates here, $3,000 individual here, and $5,250 individual there. Now bear in mind that your deductible starts again every January 1. So I always tell people keep an eye on how much you've paid for your deductible. If you have paid for your entire deductible and you were planning on getting a surgery or something coming up, you might think about getting that done before the end of the year since you have met your deductible. Preventative care in California, again, we have a big 0 on both sides. Office visits, you guys have 20, and on the HSA, $30 again after your deductible. 20 for urgent care and $30 after your deductible. Emergency room, 20%, 30%. Alternative care, you guys are a little bit better here. You get $15 copay and 20 visits per year. Over here, same thing, but you have to pay your deductible first. And the prescriptions all basically work the same as what I described earlier, except for your tier 1 is 10, tier 2 is 30, and you've got $20 to $200 max, which is pretty nice. That's capped. Over here, you've got $15 for generics, $30 for non-generics, and 20% for non-generics non-preferred list. The vision, you guys have pay 0 for your lenses and $150 per year for hardware allowance, and $150 that's $150 per year for hardware allowance and $150 per 2 years. And over here, that must be frames. And exams, you have a 0 for lenses, $150 per year, and frames, $150 per 2 years. You can see your pricing down here is actually even better than what Oregon and Washington pays. So $60.53 per paycheck here, and $44.17 for the HSA. So heck of a deal. Okay, so if you could refer to your packet, in your packet, one of the first few pages there, you should see a form that looks just like this. This is the form that we're going to use to have you enroll in any Kaiser that you choose. You have your choices right here. We're also going to use this form later on for Delta Dental, and I also want you to fill this out if you're going to opt out of either one of these benefits. So if you could pull out that form, I'm going to go ahead and teach you how to fill them out. There's going to be 3 pages, 1, 2, and 3. So on the first page, I've already got Kool Pack filled out for you. You can ignore the location and position, doesn't really matter at this point. I filled this out for you. We are filling this out for open enrollment. That's the only time we are ever going to use this form right now is for open enrollment, which is going to be effective on 1/1 of 2019. Skip down right here to the section where it says Medical Kaiser and put an X on whichever plan that you choose. Again, make sure and note where you live and that you are signing up for a plan that is appropriate for your area. Go ahead and ignore this section. We haven't talked about that yet. We're going to come back to that. And right here, if you have decided that you are going to opt out of your medical, please go ahead and X right here, and please write opt out of medical. You have the option to opt out of medical and continue with your dental, or vice versa, or opt out of both. If you're going to opt out of both, put an X here and just write both. All right, even if you opt out, I do need you to write your name legibly so I can read that. Social, all your basic information here. And then skip down to where it says employee information. Right above, actually, you can see where it says employee only, employee plus spouse, employee plus children, employee plus family. Please put an X there on which one you want to do. If you're going to sign up for employee only right here, then you're going to go ahead and leave the family section blank. Anything other than employee only, like employee plus spouse, go ahead and fill that information in here. If it's employee plus spouse, put your spouse's information here and your children below. All right, then we're going to go ahead and skip to the next page where it says signature. Go ahead and read through all the disclaimers here, and where it says signature required for all Kaiser Permanente plans. Please put your signature right here and date. That is a requirement of Kaiser, so I do need you to do that. After that, go ahead and flip to the third page, and if you could put a date, sign here, and very important, where it says printed name, please print your name legibly. With a lot of people who do their signatures, you may be used to your signature and have seen it for years, but I have not, and it's very difficult for me to find out which employee I'm dealing with. So please print your name legibly right there. Okay, so the next in your packet is a Kaiser Permanente waiver form. If you put an X on the box on the previous page where it said you wanted to waive your medical insurance, please also fill this out for me. It is a requirement of Kaiser. Go ahead and put Kool Pack and your name. Give me a brief description of why it is that you are opting out, and your signature and date for me, please. All right, so as we talked about earlier, the high deductible plans where you paid substantially more for your deductible, we offer this health savings account, or an HSA, and it is provided by Health Equity. Now, how an HSA works, an HSA is paired with that high deductible plan. So you can only have this HSA account if you join in on the high deductible plan. And again, it allows you to put tax-free money, contributions basically from your payroll every single payday into an account that you can use not only for your medical insurance, but you can also use it for dental and vision expenses. A lot of people think it's just for your medical expenses, but it's not. Dental and vision. And it's only available, again, if you enroll in the high deductible plan. So the benefits, you have lower per paycheck health insurance premiums, like we talked about earlier. Every payday, you're going to pay less for your insurance. You can put money, designated money, into this account, pre-tax dollars, so it's going to cost you a little bit less, and then you can use it right away. You earn tax-free interest, and it's not a use it or lose it program. So the money that you contribute to this savings account is yours. Even if you leave Kool Pack, it's like your own savings account. You'll get a debit card and everything. And you can change your contributions amount at any time, so it's not locked in. You can start it, stop it, whatever you'd like to do. It's very easy to use. You'll receive a debit card with easy access to your funds. And say you go to a doctor that won't use your debit card, you can actually go online, you have your own health equity account, and you can direct health equity to pay your doctors directly for you. And the great thing is, Kool contributes $1,000 to your account the first year that you sign up. So it's kind of an incentive for you to sign up for that plan. So it definitely is an incentive for you to use that plan, but note that it's broken up into multiple payments over the year. So if you sign up at the beginning of the year, roughly it's broken out into 24 payments. You don't get that $1,000 all at once. And this plan is a federally mandated plan. So in 2019, the government said that for per person only, so if you sign up for insurance and it's employee only, the maximum amount that you can put away into your HSA account is $3,500 for the year. Doesn't mean you have to put in that much money, but that's the maximum amount that you can put in. And then per family, the maximum amount you can put in is $7,000. Now, I urge people to remember that this is a regulated savings account, so don't put that money away and think, oh, I can go buy myself a car, because at some point, Big Daddy can come down and actually see where you spent your money, and you could get yourself in a little bit of trouble. So make sure that you spend it on your medical and your dental. All right, so back to your packet. If you are interested in signing up for the health savings account and you have signed up for the high deductible plan in your medical insurance, the form I would need you to fill out looks like this. It's 2 pages. The first one here, Health Savings Plan HSA. This is your enrollment form. Go ahead and skip down here where it says account holder information. All of this is your basic information, so you should already know what that is. If you could fill it out for me, please. This section right here under insurance coverage, this is just so they can verify, yep, you did sign up for the high deductible plan. So if you could put that information in there, please. And did you sign up for single or family? Read the authorization and certification, skip down to the bottom, and print your name. Again, I really need you to print your name so I can see who I'm dealing with. Sign it and date it. Then the next page, I'm going to need you to fill that out as well. And this basically is going to tell me how much money you have decided that you want taken out of your paycheck every payday and put into your account. So if you can look through this, again, it kind of goes over the amounts we went over earlier. The maximum amounts that you're allowed to do for 2019 are right here. Go ahead and do your math, put in how much you want to put in. Sign and date and send that to me, and I will make sure that that happens for you. All right, next we're going to talk about flexible spending account. A lot of people get confused. What is the difference between an HSA account and a flexible spending account? The way I think about it is the HSA account is a way to put pre-tax dollars away for those individuals who sign up for the high deductible plan. The flexible spending account is for the other people, the ones that didn't sign up for the high deductible plan, but they would also like to have an account to where they can put money away on a pre-tax basis to pay for their medical and dental, same type of thing. There is some differences, some very important differences between an HSA and a flex spending, so we're going to go over that right now. The flex spending account is provided by Allegiance. That's the same as it's been. It is available to employees after they've been here for 1 year. So you have to be employed here a year before you can sign up for the flex spending account. And you'll probably understand why here in just a little bit. Okay, so how a flexible spending works provides employees who choose the PPO or HMO plan a savings account that allows them to pay for medical, dental, vision, just like the HSA. But the flexible spending also allows you to pay for dependent care expenses on a pre-tax basis. You can only enroll during open enrollment or at the time that you're hired, and you cannot change your deductions once you're enrolled. You must re-enroll every year. This is an important difference from an HSA to a flex spending account. So what that means is you need to plan ahead when you have a flex spending account. You need to plan ahead, think about, how much am I going to spend on my dental or my medical, and make sure that you spend that money. This plan does allow you to roll over. I'm going to skip down here. It does allow you to roll over $500. So say I elected $600 for the year. I'm going to have that $600 deducted out of my paycheck every single payday throughout the year. So take 600 divided by 24 paydays, whatever that is, that's what's going to come out every single payday. Now, say I only spent, I don't know, say I didn't spend any of it. Only 500 of that's going to roll over, so I'm going to lose $100 the next year if I don't spend it, at least $100. Okay, so important to plan ahead. So elect yearly the amount that you want to contribute. I think that's what I just said. And that, yes, it will come out of your paycheck every single payday, and you're going to pay it back every single payday. So you elect, $600, amortize that out by 24 paydays. That's what you're going to pay every single payday. You're going to receive a debit card that will give you access to your funds, just like the HSA account. It's kind of like having your own little private checking or savings account, if you will. The amount you elect to contribute for the year will be available to use January 1st, even though you have not repaid the amount of the year. So this is very important to note. So say I elected that $600 this open enrollment, and again, I'm going to pay it back every single payday. But January 1st, I'm going to have that $600 available and my debit card to use, even though I have not paid it back every year or every payday yet. So that's, a pretty important piece to remember. You're being fronted that money ahead of time before you've paid it back. Now, if you leave the company, you don't have to pay that money back. Say you spent that $600 and you haven't finished paying it through the year. We are not going to deduct that from your final paycheck. That's kind of the beauty of this plan and how it works to your benefit. You can use these funds for medical for yourself, your spouse, or any dependent. So a lot of people didn't know that as well. And you can even get a card for your spouse. So even though you're putting the funds in there, your spouse can spend it for you. Again, the $500 is going to roll over each year. All other funds must be spent because if you don't spend them, you're going to lose it. So that's kind of the benefit to the plan. And if you leave Kool and the account is canceled right away, you will not be able to make further withdrawals. So here's the flip side to it. Say that $600 that I had available to me come January and I didn't use it and I left sometime throughout the year. Even though I had paid in every single payday to use that funds, but I hadn't used it yet, as soon as I leave the company, I am no longer able to use those funds. So that's kind of how it goes both ways. That's the beauty of this plan. And just like the HSA account, this plan is also federally mandated. So what that means is for your medical and dental, the maximum amount that you can put is $2,650. That's combined. There's no separate medical and dental. That's combined here, but there is separate dental. So, dependent care. So dependent care is a maximum of $5,000 per year that you can put away. Now, dependent care works a little bit differently than the medical or dental. Dependent care is only available once you put those funds in the account. So you put the funds in per payday, and that's when they become available. So again, this is available in January, or if you just got hired, it would be available when your benefits become due. This is only available after the funds are put into the account. All right, so if you want to sign up for flex spending, back to your packet, you should see a form that looks like this, provided by Allegiance. Look at there, it says please print clearly. So go ahead and put this information here. I don't need division, doesn't matter. You're going to put an X here for open enrollment. All of this information you should know. You're going to do the deductions on a pre-tax basis right here. And right here is the most important part. So think about what you want to spend. If you are going to do medical or daycare, so you fill out this line, or you could do both. I've seen people do medical and daycare. Again, your maximum dollar amounts can go here. I think it's $5,000 and whatever it was here. And if you know how much you want to spend per year, you can figure this out and I'll figure this out for you. Or if you know how much you want to do just per pay day, you can put it here and I can figure this out for you. Here's if you want to give a debit card not only for yourself but also for your spouse. Go ahead and choose this, their name, social security number and birthday. Skip down to sign and date and leave this blank and I will take care of that. Go ahead and send that to me and I will make sure that that happens for you. All right, so we've got dental insurance, hasn't changed at all, still provided by Delta Dental and Willamette Dental. Delta Dental is provided for everybody, Oregon, Washington, and California, whereas Willamette Dental is only provided for Oregon and Washington. All right, deductible, like we talked about before, under Delta Dental, you have your $50 individual deductible and $150 for family. Over on the Willamette Dental side, there is no deductible. The annual max, this is the annual max that the insurance company will pay for you. So on the Delta Dental side, it is $1,000 per year per person that you have signed up on the plan. Whereas Willamette Dental, there is no annual max. Preventative services are $0 over here, and it's a $20 office copay over here. One thing that's important to note on the Delta Dental side is preventative services. That's when you go in for things like your cleanings every 6 months or whatnot. Used to, you would have to pay, for a cleaning, I don't know, a couple, $200-300. Well, if you go in twice a year, that $200 or $300 could add up pretty quickly and eat away your annual max, not leave very much money left over for anything else. Well, the nice thing is this year we changed it and those cleanings no longer deduct from your annual max. So this is truly $1,000 out of pocket. I'm sorry, not out of pocket, out of Delta Dental that they'll pay for you, in addition to whatever your preventative services. All right, so dental breaks it into basically 3 services: preventative, basic, and major. We already talked about preventative. Basic, that's when you have like your cavities, that kind of thing. For Delta Dental, first you pay your $50 deductible, then the insurance pays 80% and you pay the balance. Again, up to a maximum of $1,000 per year that they will pay for you. Willamette Dental side, just your $20 office copay. Major services. So major is your crowns, your inlays, your deductible only once a year. You'd have to pay for that. And then they pay 50%, you pay 50% out of pocket. And on the Willamette Dental side, just your $20 office copay. Here are the prices down here: employee only, employee plus spouse, plus children, and plus family. You can see they're very affordable rates and very comparable. But you can tell that the Willamette Dental is just a little less expensive than Delta Dental. Delta Dental is considered a little bit more open, so you can go to most any dentist you want. And that's why you're going to pay for that flexibility. Whereas Willamette Dental, you must go to a Willamette Dental dentist. All right, so I'm going to refer you back to your packets and go back to the original enrollment form that we used for the medical. Now we're going to use it for the dental insurance. Go ahead and put an X whether you choose Delta Dental or Willamette Dental. And folks, even if you are currently enrolled in the dental, I still need you to fill this form out. This is going to replace all of your current forms. So you will be canceled if you do not re-enroll for this year. So go ahead and re-enroll here for whichever one you want. Or again, if you want to opt out here, choose opt out. And if you could write dental here, or if you already opt out of medical and not the dental, or both. By now, you probably have already filled out this information, your basic information here. And if you want to add dependents down here, you can do so. Then come here and sign and date. On the one that we did earlier, this is the third page. This is the first and the third page. There was a middle page, and that was for the Kaiser, for you to go ahead and sign that. Okay. Moving on, life insurance provided by Unum. Nothing has changed there. It's still provided by Unum. It is employer-paid life insurance and AD&D, which stands for Accidental Death and Dismemberment Insurance. It's a $25,000 life insurance policy for each employee that Kool pays for you. It's a great benefit that unfortunately a lot of us forget about, but when your loved ones need it, they will definitely appreciate this benefit. Also, AD&D, accidental death and dismemberment. A lot of people don't quite understand what that is. So to give you a brief description, basically, if you should pass accidentally, your $25,000 policy could basically be doubled depending upon how you passed. Or if you become dismembered, you are still alive, but maybe you lost an arm or a leg. They have all sorts of restrictions on, basically they decide how much an arm's worth or a leg's worth, and they pay a percentage of this while you are still living. You'll have to see the plan descriptions for details on that one. Okay, so that is what the company provides for you. And now let's talk about what you can also purchase on top of what the company buys for you, which is voluntary life insurance provided by the same company. But there is a special deal right now that we were able to negotiate, and we were able to open up the insurance just during open enrollment. So what that means is you don't have to provide proof of good health to get additional life insurance for yourself up to $120,000, for your spouse up to $35,000, and for your child up to $10,000. So normally what happens is this deal is only open during your initial point of hire. So when you originally signed up for insurance, if you didn't enroll in the voluntary life insurance at the time that you were hired, then anytime you wanted to enroll after that, you would have had to have provided proof of good health. So if you have any health issues, obviously you would kind of be out of luck at that point. So right now, in order to generate more employees, again, we were able to open it up. So I'm not a salesperson, but I highly suggest doing this if you can afford to do so. Now, the insurance for employee, it's sold in $10,000 increments. So you don't have to order the full $120,000. But if you order just one unit, which is $10,000, you have now locked in this special. So next year, say you have $10,000 now, you want to order another $10,000, make it $20,000. You still don't have to provide proof of good health. You are locked into that 120, and you can work your way up to that. Or if you can afford it right now, go all the way to the 120. All right, and this is basically how it works. So you figure out your rates by finding your age. Say you're 24 or less. For employee only, again, it's sold in $10,000 increments. So it's $1.10, and this is per month. These are monthly deductions shown for an extra $10,000. So roughly divide that by 2, and that's how much it would cost you per paycheck for an extra $10,000. Super affordable. If you wanted $20,000, take that times 2, $30,000 times 3, so on and so forth. And for spouse is sold in $5,000 increments, so 55 cents for an extra $5,000. If you want $10,000 times 2, and so on and so forth. And child is sold in $1,000 increments for a maximum of $10,000. All right, and if you want voluntary life insurance, go ahead and fill this information out right here. This is your standard information. If you want to have your spouse insured, that's where you're going to put this information right here. And then come down to here. So life for you, say you wanted an extra 10,000, put 10,000 here. For your spouse, put an extra 35,000 here, and maybe 10,000 for your child. Skip down here. Do you also want to add AD&D, accidental death and dismemberment? It just has to equal the same amount that you ordered. So say I ordered 10,000 for me here, I can put 10,000 accidental death and dismemberment here. Sign date, and yes, hopefully you printed legibly here, I can read it. Move on to the next page, see where it says beneficiary information. Very important right here. If you're married, your spouse goes here. Typically you're going to do 100%. I always tell people though, I would choose a contingent person here, just in case you and your spouse are together and you should pass. Put that person here. You can also put two people, maybe 50% to one person, 50% to another. Just make sure that each section equals 100%. All right, next we're going to talk about our value-added programs. We have an EAP, Employee Assistance Program, provided by Unum. It's a great program. It's completely free to you. Gives you unlimited access to master-level consultants by phone. Face-to-face visits, 3 of them, face-to-face visits per year, per issue. It's completely confidential, and you can use it not only for yourself, but for any family member. It's for things like, you can deal with stress, inside and outside work. It doesn't have to be completely work-related. Lots of assistance that they can give you there, or help direct you on to find other members. Maybe you have no idea, who to go to talk about certain problems. They can help you with that. They also offer worldwide emergency travel assistance, so traveling for business or pleasure, assistance with emergency medical evacuation, medically supervised transportation, home, and much more. Supplemental insurance provided by Aflac. Those of you that know Phil, he has been around for quite a while, and he would love to talk to you. So they offer things like accidents, hospital care, cancer care, life insurance, and it's all discounted through payroll deductions. If you choose to sign up for Aflac, turn to your page in your packet, and you will see an Aflac form that looks just like this. Go ahead and put an X on whatever you're interested in. Print your name legibly here, and send this form back with your packet. If you're not interested, if you could just put an X here that you're not interested and print your name, that is my proof that I at least offered you the benefit. All right, and here is a recap of your per pay amounts. Again, here's the different Kaisers. Kaiser for HMO, PPO, HSA, and then the Californias. The rates we already discussed are right here. Next is our 401k. 401k has not changed. It is provided by the Retirement Plan Company, TRPC. You can change your election amount at any time throughout the year, so it's not just during open enrollment, but good to know that you can change it at any time during the year. The important thing to note is that Kool matches 50% of the first 6% that you contribute. So free money, folks. I highly suggest if you can swing it, I would at least put in 6% and take advantage of that free money. That match happens at the beginning of every year, so you must be employed to receive that match. All right, going back to your packet, you can see a form that looks just like this. This is your 401k. I ask that each and every one of you fill this out for me, even if you have decided not to enroll in the 401k. I again need proof that I offered you this plan. So go ahead and look right here. It'll say the total compensation, the amount including bonuses or irregular amounts, or right here where it says total compensation excluding bonuses. So you have a choice if you want if you get a bonus, if you want the money from the bonus to go into your 401k or not. So go ahead and choose whichever one you want here. And down here you get a choice, whether you want a percentage of your compensation. Like I said earlier, I would go for at least 6% if you can. Take advantage of that free money. Or you can say that you want a whole dollar amount, maybe $50 a paycheck or $100 a paycheck, whatever it might be. Put an X here. For those of you folks who do not want to sign up for the 401k, I would appreciate it if you put an X right here where it says 0, because that again is my proof that I at least offered this plan to you. Because every year we are audited by, our 401k plan is audited by auditors, and that is one of the things that they would like to see is that paperwork that you were offered. Next, go to the next page where it says dated. Put this date right here and sign it right here. And please print your name right here, very legible so I can read that. And ignore this right here. I will take care of that part. All right, next in your packet, you're going to see this deferred income plan. So what this is where you want your money to go in your plan. So it is illegal for me to give you advice on where to put your funds. And hopefully if you ever talk to our auditors and they ask you if I ever told you where to put your money, you will remember this conversation and tell them, nope, I did not tell you that. So I suggest that you go on to their website, create a login for yourself. It's very easy to do. Walk through it. You just need your social security number and you can create your own login and password. Once you're in there, you can educate yourself on the plan, what the plan offers. You can also call the company themselves and they would be happy to give you information about it. Once you do that, you can either fill out this form right here and put the percentages of where you want your money to go, sign in dates, and give that to me along with your enrollment forms, and I will send that along to the company and they will take care of that for you. Or you can ignore this altogether and do it yourself and go into online and choose where you want your funds to go. Either way is perfectly acceptable. All right, next steps. We're just about at the end of this presentation. So I need you to complete enrollment forms. That is mandatory for all employees. Whether you currently have dental insurance or not, everything needs to be completed and sent in to me in a timely manner. You can change your medical and your dental plans. You can add and drop family members at this point. Remember, the most important thing at this point is that your new elections are going to be live on January 1st, 2019. And you should have your ID cards delivered to your home prior to this date if you turn your enrollment forms in on time. So I need your enrollment forms no later than Monday, December 3rd, 2018. The earlier the better. The reason being is if you give me your forms as early as possible, I'm going to send them to the carriers. We can have your information input into the system, and the sooner we have your information input into the system, the sooner those cards are going to get out to you. Now that being said, you are going to be live on January 1st, 2019. If you do not have your cards before then, go ahead and give me a call and I can probably give you the information that you need to take to your doctor. All right. Next up, if you are joining the live show, you'll be able to ask any questions. If you are listening to this recording, you can go ahead and call myself at 503-978-2135, or you can call Jeremy at extension 137, and we'd be happy to assist you. Thanks for listening to this recording, and I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.